racing games. Ah yeah. Racing is arguably my favorite video game genre. You race against your opponents, from point A to point B. Simple as that. Actually, when it comes to these games on my list, they are far more than just a simple concept. Welcome to my top 10 favorite racing games. For this list, I will only include one racing game per franchise. Are you ready? Start your engines, fasten your seat belts, and drive our way into this. Number 10. Just 3 letters and 1 number, PGR4. It's the only simulation-ish racing game that is on this list. This game has a career mode and challenge mode. By selecting the two, you're introduced to a variety of cars and motorcycles divided by different classes, and also a variety of races, such as participating in races with other drivers, time trials, avoid the cone events, and passing through as many checkpoints as you can before the clock runs out. The locations you drive include New York, Las Vegas, London, Tokyo, and others. The soundtrack and weather effects are pretty diverse too. I love games that have so much variation, because there are so many possibilities to try out, thus giving the game a lot of replay value. If you have an Xbox 360, I recommend Project Gotham Racing 4, and/or its predecessors. In spite of having fun on asphalt, let's get down and dirty with number 9. MotorStorm. This game takes place in Monument Valley, a desert that lies on the Arizona-Utah border. When you first start up the game and select the very first race, you're met with 7 types of vehicles to choose from. Motorcycles, 4-wheelers, buggies, rally cars, racing trucks, mud pluggers, and big rigs. After the first race, you'll unlock more and more events, most which have you only drive a certain type of vehicle. Surely you have to try out all vehicle types at least once. The attention to detail is fantastic for a game released in 2006, especially with the dirt, the mud, and the vehicle damage. I also love the boost system, where you have to use it wisely. Overheating your boost will blow you up. If you're the kind of person that loves off-roading, I recommend checking it out, as well as the other one which we'll get to later. Number 8. LittleBigPlanet Karting. Mario has a kart racing game, Sonic has a kart racing game, and of course, Sackboy had to have his own kart racing game after the success of LittleBigPlanet 1 and 2. The tracks that were included in the story mode were fun. The character and kart customizations were decent but kinda limited. The best part of this game is that you can create your own racetracks. I always play LittleBigPlanet Karting because of this feature. It takes a lot of time to get used to it, but once you do so, you can get really creative with this. For example, the footage you are seeing right now is Mario Kart tracks remade in LBP Karting. It just makes me wish that other racing games include this option. Oh well, let's just carry on. Number 7. Forza Horizon 3. Considering that this is the only title I played in the Forza Horizon series, I gotta put it on this list. All of the Forza Horizon games seem to give you a beautiful first impression. Briefly driving a couple of nice cars before your character chooses his or her first car. After that, you can either enter some race events or have a nice relaxing drive in whatever location you're in, depending on the one you're playing. Here, you are witnessing the wild roads of Australia, mate. Warm days, cool nights, rain every now and then, on-road, off-road, you name it. There's a whole lot more to this. You also got activities, hundreds of cars to buy, multiple radio stations, etc. etc. Speaking of off-roading, let's hit reverse back to 2007 for the next racing game. Number 6. MX vs ATV, Untamed. It looks like MotorStorm isn't the only dirt bike game in this list. A big difference between the two is that I used to love Untamed on the Wii when I was a kid, but I never played MotorStorm until much later. Both games were released around the same time. The early to mid-2000s was a time where racing games had very good soundtracks. While MotorStorm has, Before I Forget, Automatic Thrill, and Slam, Untamed has Side of a Bullet, Face Down, Collapse, Guarded, The Ripper, and How Could You Forget? As for the gameplay, you got motorcycles and 4-wheelers, racing on courses ranging from action-packed stadiums to beautiful rural areas. The gameplay you're seeing right now is the Wii version. This game was also released on PS2, PS3, and the Xbox 360. Although the PS3 and 360 versions are different, I would recommend this game on any home console. Number 5. Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed. Quite a mouthful, and also quite an awesome sequel to Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. Between the two installments and Team Sonic Racing, I believe Transformed is the best of the three. For two reasons. 1. This game has the biggest character roster in the series. Glad to see Wreck-It Ralph as a guest character. 2. The gameplay is complex, in a good way. Each and every track, you either drive on land, on water, or in the air, or all of the above. To make matters even better, not only can your vehicle transform, but almost all of the tracks can alternate. Some change after the second lap, some change after the third lap, and maybe about a couple of them alternate after the second and third laps. The way how these tracks are designed is fantastic. You also have a challenge mode, where you can unlock new drivers and other stuff. I just provided more than enough evidence as to why this game deserves to be on a list like this. Number 4. Midnight Club, Los Angeles. Developed and published by Rockstar. Midnight Club is a franchise where you go street racing against other people. Of course, the only one I played was Los Angeles. Here's how it goes. You enter a race, and in order to defeat your opponents, you must pass every checkpoint indicated by this yellow smoke. Once you pass all of them and stay ahead of the pack, you win. I don't really have much else to say, other than this killer soundtrack, nice car selection, good car damage, magnificent customization. Both street racing games, this and the next one, really has the nostalgia kick in. Let's check out the next entry. Number 3.
Attention Patrol Division, we have reported at least one mobile Code 6 driver followed by police.
I need all available units on this. Get them going, Code 3.
Need for Speed Most Wanted 2005. I've already talked about it in my top 10 Need for Speed games, so I'll keep this entry brief. This is my favorite NFS game for countless reasons. The gameplay, the soundtrack, the story, almost everything felt perfect. I enjoyed so much playing it on the GameCube as a kid, racing against AI racers, getting chased by the police and whatnot. This isn't the only racing game I've played on the GameCube. If you already watched a certain top 10 list, or a certain what if video, you probably know where I'm going with this. Number 2, F-Zero GX. Oh yeah, what lies on my number 2 spot is none other than F-Zero GX, a futuristic racing game where you race against 29 other pilots at well over 1,000 kilometers per hour in various locations, and was notorious for its extreme difficulty. The Grand Prix mode will take a lot of time to get used to its lightning-fast gameplay, especially on Master difficulty. You can try playing with all of the machines and see whatever playstyle suits you best. Easily one of the best machines has got to be the Sonic Phantom. It's definitely one of the fastest in the game, and it turns pretty well too.
I believe I can fly.
If you thought the Grand Prix was frustrating, oh boy, you haven't even checked out the story mode. The story mode is even worse. Regardless of which mission you select, you have to drive the Blue Falcon, which may not be everybody's favorite machine, but it doesn't seem to be that big of a deal, right? Well, here's something about it that can grind your gears. If you beat a story mission on very hard, which is near impossible, you unlock a machine from F-Zero AX. I was only able to unlock 3 of them by some miracle. Putting my vexation aside, I cannot stress enough how much I love this game. Not just the smooth gameplay, but Nintendo and Amusement Vision really nailed the soundtrack. It is that awesome. Before we get to number 1, I got one honorable mention.
Hydro Thunder! Hurricane!
Hydro Thunder Hurricane is a boat racing game where you drive 9 boats on 8 tracks. The game is currently on the Xbox One store and it costs $15 US. Plus, there's a $5 DLC pack that adds 2 boats, 3 tracks, upgraded versions of the Novice and Pro boats, and 1 extra skin for each boat. I play this game every once in a while, and when I do, I have so much fun racing in these compelling tracks, such as Storming Asgard, Soulstream, and even Area 51. Insert rate Area 51 joke here. $20 for the base game and Tempest pack is a really good deal. A really good deal you should check out. Number 1. This one is the most debatable choice of all. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Some may like any of the other Mario Kart games the best, but I like 8 Deluxe. Was there ever any doubt in mind that Mario Kart would be in a list called Top 10 Favorite Racing Games? Here's how every Mario Kart game is like. You play as Mario and his friends on various tracks divided into at least 4 cups. The tracks have item boxes. Each has an item that you can use to either attack your opponents or defend yourself. You also have time trials and balloon battle. Okay, now let's talk about 8 Deluxe. This is an updated version of the Wii U release, and let me tell ya, it is a massive improvement. On both versions, on all tracks, you either have a gliding section, underwater section, and/or anti-gravity section, where you drive upside down or some other direction. Also, you can select your kart and tires and glider. The game comes with the base game and all of its DLC into one package, and the most noteworthy difference is the battle mode. You're given 8 battle arenas, 3 of which are retros. You also have 5 battle modes. They were all pretty fun, including the newest one, Renegade Roundup, where the authorities have to catch all of the renegades before the time runs out. Today, it appears that Nintendo is going all out with the game's content. As of this video, we have the Booster Course Pass, which gives us 8 course on each wave, with the 6th and final one planned to be released by the end of 2023. By the time Wave 3 was released, they added a feature on Versus Mode, where you can enable or disable certain items, meaning you can finally get rid of the stupid coins and the useless blooper. If you don't have a copy of this game, you're truly missing out, because Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is easily one of the best racing games and my favorite racing game ever. Thanks for watching. What's your favorite racing game? Let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe and follow me on these social media platforms right here.